Hello, hello. Good evening, everybody. I found myself. Okay, I have a really nasty paint shirt on. Excuse me for that. For some reason, my business page camera shot is a lot wider. So I don't know why that is. Can't figure it out. Judy, you made it. Hello. Your alarm clock worked, apparently. Thank you for joining me tonight. I haven't been on my page in a really long time, and since I had that sale, I've been wanting to come on to show you how I put everything together. Kind of a little inspiration for you guys as well. All we're using basically are red, white, and blue, and black, and some red for the cheeks and things like that. So, um, I'm doing it a little different than what I did, and I'll tell you what the difference is. It's very slight. I don't even know if you're going to be able to notice a whole bunch, but I am going to shade differently. So what I did, so this one is painted with white on the beard and the hat. What I did for this one is I did it in plaster, and I shaded this with slate gray, but I'm going to shade this with sable brown or burnt umber. So there's the difference right there for that. But everything else, I used Crimson Waverly Red. I used Ocean Waverly Blue. I used plaster for the white parts, like I said, not white, but you could use white. These are both white. I did stain this piece with early American Minwax. I did this one too, but I painted the sides on this one, and that was kind of a mistake because I wanted to show you how simple it is if you just want to stain it and paint the tops of them. So there's another one. I forgot to show you this star stencil that I have. What I love about this star stencil is you can make it as long as you want. If you wanted the whole piece really uniformed stars, you just lay it, set it down. Now I can't remember okay. Why is this not matching up? There we go. So you would just lay it down here. And then when you go to the next one, you would match up this first two stars and then do these. And then match up those two stars and then do the rest. So that's how you can get kind of a long piece out of it. So just kind of fun star background. I did not show you that one, but it is available. Whoever's interested, it is $4, and I'm putting it in number 100. I'm not going to use it tonight, but I just wanted to show you that I totally missed out on showing it to you guys on Saturday. All right. Make sure to comment if you have any questions. Just kind of wanted to show you how I put everything together. I'm keeping this here as inspiration. I will be showing you the items that I used to put together, and this is what I'm making. And this one I'm going to make a little different, and I also am going to use the bigger forward stencil for this little forward. It's 4.5. It's 1 by 5 by 4.5, and I want to paint one of these on there just to show you that you can just do different things with it. This is the bigger one, and this is 101 for $14. I didn't show that. I didn't do a sample of that one. And then I thought, oh my gosh, it would be so much fun to make this guy, but without the United States body. So I made him like this. I thought he would be kind of fun to make and see how it turns out. And I'm going to use one of the other stencils to put established 1776 here. So we're just going to have fun. All right. Your alarm worked. Hey, Lori. Hi, Mimi. Hello, Beth. Sam with the USA behind. Yes. Beth, you're new here. I have not seen you. I sell all of my wood pieces, my stencils, line drawings, and you can go back to Saturday's live, and that's going to be up for 30 days from that day. So you guys can, pick and choose. I'm going to try to go on Saturday as well. Or even Friday night, maybe we'll see how it goes. Cause I work remote on Tuesday and Friday. So it's nice to not have to drive home, get dinner ready and all of that. So it's just kind of nice to be more relaxed and come on at a decent hour for anybody who's in the East Coast. Stencil 101 is $14, Mimi. It's the big one. And I'll show you today how I use it. So the smaller one, which I'm going to use on this flag, is number 1 and it's $12. It's a smaller one. So see the difference? This is for a 1x4, which is really 3.5. And this is for a 1x5, which is really a 4.5. So, all right, let's get started. I am not going to do, I'm just going to freehand this. I'm sorry for those of you who aren't good at freehanding. What you could do though is, let's try to do this just so you guys can get an idea of it. We could kind of start in the middle here, see if we can get a middle ground. I use painter's tape a lot to kind of, I want it a little wider. So let's do that. And let's put this up a little bit more. No, that's going to be too wide. I freehanded the flag, so that's why this is a little bit more difficult, but we're going to go ahead and try it. All right, we're going to use Red Crimson Waverly. I think I answered the smaller one, but if I didn't, let me know. Okay, so we're just going to get a brush, and what I'm going to do is just water down the paint. So I'm going to put a puddle of paint on my palette, and just paint it here. I hope that's straight. I'm infamous for not making straight things. I think it's easier for me to just eyeball it, but I'm going to do this just so you guys can see. Okay, I'll do the first one and then I'll eyeball the rest. Okay, so then you would just do that. Okay, and it was a little too much water, which is why it's kind of oozing on the side. But then I'm just going to get the same one and I'm just going to go straight down. So you can just keep moving the tape over if you want until you get the size that you want, or all the little stripes that you want. All right, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It's kind of a primitive flag, so don't worry about it being perfect. Just like that. There you go. And we're going to sand some of it off, so don't even worry about it kind of leaking a little bit. And if it really bothers us, we can just get some plaster paint and kind of cover that up. So there's that one. And then we're going to do the stripes on the Uncle Sam's. Oh, perfect, Mimi. Thank you. The smaller one, is this one you're talking about, is number 1 and it's $12. This is the smaller one. And we're going to use this one tonight as well. So I think that's what you were asking. So I think I put all the pictures up on Facebook of all of the projects. And I think what I'm going to do when I get a minute, I will go on there and put down what stencils I used and what the cost of them are and all the wood pieces, just so you guys have them and you're able to know what exactly you're trying to get. Okay, so then again with the watered down red, I'm just going to try to do one swoop, and these have lines on it. If you buy the wood from me, they have kind of an etched line so you can follow the lines. Okay, so we're just going to put the paint on here and then let that sit. Trying to get close to the blue, and if we have to, we could give the blue another coat. But there's that one. And then this red. So we start with it right down the middle, and like I said, the pieces are engraved. So this piece is this was not on Saturday sale, so if you're interested in this one, it is $3.50 for the wood, and it's number 103. And if you go over the lines a little bit, don't even worry about it, because most of the time people can't see that you went over the lines. They're so, after you've given it one base coat, you can't really tell. And then when you put all the little magic finishing details on it, you won't even be able to tell. I had so much fun with this collection, you guys. And I will put this on my YouTube page. I have a YouTube channel called Crafted by Yvonne that has all my past videos on it. So you can go on there and look at anything. Like if there's something you haven't done that you bought off of me for in a while, it's all on there. So you'll be able to see it. Okay. Another thing that I'm going to do different, you guys, is I painted this just one coat of red, and then I sanded the heck out of it. I didn't like how, and then on this one, I added antique wax to the edges, but I think I'm just going to leave it white. I feel like it didn't stand out enough, so I'm going to do that on this technique. So just to let you know, it's a little bit different. Whoa. Okay. Judy, I don't know how I find the time either. I think I eat, sleep, and just dream crafts. I don't know. I just love it. This guy I'm going to put on this little piece of this stand here. So I thought it'll be fun. It's a stand that I made. I didn't offer this to you guys. If you want it, let me know and I can give you a price on that. And I didn't offer the 1 by 5 by 4.5 either. I thought this was been cute, but I made it a little longer so he can be on top. They could have more room on top of his hat. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get our flesh paint and some burnt umber. Yeah, I just love it. And I'm glad I like it so much because it's just kind of my outlet, I guess. So, but so much that I feel like I just want to do it constantly. I know it's crazy, but okay. So then we're just going to shade the flesh color, and we're going to shade his ears first. And remember, my thing is I do a little bit more detail. You don't have to. It's whatever you feel comfortable with. I double load my brush so that it's easier to apply the paint. I load my brush with flesh, and then I tip the corner of my brush with burnt umber. All right, then we're going to do this flesh color. Let me clean out my brush again. Yeah, right, Judy? It's just so much fun. Difference is you're retired and you can do it all day long. That's not my deal. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It was wet and I put my hand in it. That's okay. We'll fix that. And go underneath his hat brim. Now, a lot of you are going to cut your own United States, so I do have these separately if you want, and this is number 46 for $3.50 if you just want the Uncle Sam. Let me grab some plaster and touch this up now that I'm here. And I don't want to forget about it. There we go. Oh, I got it all over his hat there. Okay. And then what we're going to do now is, oh, now that I have plaster out, let's use plaster and let's do burnt umber. My plaster is really thick too, and it's hard to paint with, but I like the color. You can use also ivory or light ivory from like Deco Art. That'll work as well. So we're just going to put color on this, the bottom of his beard. Okay. Remember, if you're doing white, I would shade in slate gray. But since I'm doing plaster, I'm shading in burnt umber. My samples are all white, so these I'm doing kind of, I wanted it to have a more primitive look, I guess. And if you do little, it's not so white. Uh-oh. Don't want to go on there, and I don't want to go up there. I could see the line on there, which is really rare. But I think it's because I had too much water on my brush. And then we're just going to put a little bit underneath his hat brim there. And his hat brim there. Alrighty. Then what we're going to do is we're going to get our stencil. This is the new stencil for this Uncle Sam. And this one is $2 and it's number 102, whoever's interested. Did I tell you this? Yeah, 103, $3.50. I think I did. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just use a pencil and kind of mark it really lightly. And I say lightly because, oh, I got some paint on me. I don't want to see it once I've done it. So there's that one. And then let's do, where is my little guy? And you guys, if you did purchase the Uncle Sam, I think the nose, I mean, it's going to be so slightly different. So you don't have to purchase both. It's super tiny, the difference. So it's up to you if you want to get both. If you do your own 1-inch wood, you could use this as a pattern. So that's what's nice about that. So, and then we're just going to lightly go around here. Okay. And I think I gave you that one as well. Oh, this I don't have the number for, sorry. You can see it on my live. If I have a minute, I'll go and look at that really quick. Okay. Back to the flesh color and some burnt umber. This time we're going on the outside of the nose against the face. So we're just going to go around his nose so he stands out a little bit more. And around his nose. Just like that. Okay, then we're going to get Crimson and Royal Navy from, we're going to get Crimson from Waverly and Royal Navy from Deco Art. And we're going to shade the blues on the hat brim. I'll use this one. And these are meant to be really simple patterns, you guys. So for those of you who sell, that way you can, you know, not spend so much time on it and make some money off of it. Or if they're great because if you have a gift that you need to do for somebody, they're great to put them together and give as a gift. We all know we're going to barbecues for 4th of July this year, so it'd be nice to take a little hostess gift. All right, and we're just going to go around his beard on his shirt area. I'm not organized. You should see my craft area. Oh, thank you, Mimi. Yeah, he's one of my favorites too. I might do him on Saturday. We'll see what ones I do on Saturday or Friday whenever I decide to come on. I need to really come on here more often. I know I just don't have the time. If you only knew, you guys, my mess and we talked about it in our group. I have a thing of squirrel, like squirrel, I'm going to do this, squirrel. Something else you think of comes up. That's me. So we do all of our shading first, and then we do all of our highlighting together. If you want to darken some spots up, you can go over it again. Got a little blue on there. Let me just darken this a little bit more. Okay. Oh, you know what I forgot are his hands. I did not shade his hands. Let's do that really quick. Medium flesh and burnt umber. What would you guys do today? Anything fun? I know some of you do work during the day. So is this your winding down time? Okay, these little guys are moving on me. Don't move on me. This is the bigger hand. Finished that ceramic class. I was telling my group that I took a ceramic, well, not a ceramic. They call it handmade clay. I don't know what they called it. Hand painted clay. I don't know. And if any of you guys have ever done ceramics, the colors never look like what you put down. Like, this is why I like painting this, because whatever you put down, that's what it's going to look like. It's not going to change. But for ceramics, it changes like a bunch. And you're like, wait, I didn't paint that. So Okay, so now we're going to get some white paint. I know we used plaster, but we're just going to grab some white paint. And actually, since I've got, let me clean up this little flag here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Gosh darn it. Now I gotta clean this up a little bit. There we go. Oh no. Oh no. Let's try this again. I flipped it over and it took the paint right off. Okay. Let me get some plaster. So yeah, if you guys have ever worked with ceramics, it's very different than working with. Oh, very nice. 3 years ago. Judy, I feel like the patriotic stuff might do well at that shop that you put your stuff in. No? Are they going to go all out? Do they put stuff out for that, or do people not tend to decorate for 4th of July? I know there's a friend of mine. Oops, sorry, I bumped you. A friend of mine has her whole den in Americana. Just kind of fun. Okay, let's leave that there. Then what I want to do is just with straight burnt umber is shade his hat. So I'm just going to side load. I'm not doing a double load. I'm just going to side load with burnt umber. And if your piece gets really muddy, grab some water really quick and just work the lines out of there. We're going to highlight, so it shouldn't be a problem. There we go. Okay. They did? I'm so excited. I think it's going to be a good one. And what's nice about my stencil is it has a lot of words on the sheet, so you don't need to use it for the entire page. You can, the whole board, you can just grab whatever you want and use pieces of it. You could do little blocks. Judy, you cut wood. I think you can cut this little guy out with wood, with 1-inch wood, and sit him on a little block or 2 blocks. I don't know. Possibilities are crazy endless. I don't know. This brush is, I should have gotten one of my newer brushes. This is kind of an old brush, so it's giving me a hard time. Hard time. There we go. It's fine. Okay. Now that we got color on everything, I think we're ready to highlight. So let's get a ratty old brush and some white paint. So the class, Lori, was for a, it was a, okay, it's out of clay, right? But it's a sardine tin. So it's basically a box that has the lid, and you're supposed to paint a fish on it and all that. And then inside you put sardines, but I'll tell you what I made. So you put sardines, but they're little chopstick holders. So it's a fish that has like a little dip, and it's for your chopstick holders, right? But I didn't want to do that said sardines in oil, because sardines are, to me, sorry for who likes sardines, are gross. Especially coming out of a tin can like that. Oh, let's start with a flesh color. We're going to put color here for just to highlight everything. And again, you don't have to do this part, you guys. For those of you who are just learning, you can just leave this blank. Even people in my group I've seen don't highlight, and it looks still adorable. So anyway, so I painted a Mount Fuji on the tin on the top of the clay little sardine thing. And then my fish looked more like fish, not really sardines. And I painted like a Japanese looking kind of design on mine. So that's what I did. Okay, we'll get a smaller brush and highlight the inside of his nose, but for now we'll just do the outside. Okay, I start out with the lighter colors first because red will get your brush all red. So I started off with flesh color, and now I'm going to move on to the blue. Oh, I got to do his hands first. Sorry. Squirrel. I forget his little hands here. And remember, when you get this wood, you guys, it is very raw. So it's birch. So it's, you know, it's very rough. So I put one coat of paint on it. Like these, I painted all white first, or plaster, and then I sanded it, and then I did the colors that I wanted to. So just remember, you do probably need to sand so you get a smoother finish. You don't have to, but you should, just so that it's easier on your painting when you're shading and highlighting and all of that fun stuff. So bye, Donna. I put a crock pot meal in, so I'm good to go. Since I was home, I was able to start it in the morning. Okay, so we just want to highlight everything. Did I get his ears? I don't think I got his ears here. All right, and then and I use a piece of paper, my paper towel, to rub off the excess, because you just want hardly any paint, and it's no water at all. You're basically just dry brushing. This is kind of where the magic happens, is the highlighting part. This is where it didn't really matter if you kind of went over. Let me grab some more paint. And what's nice about these, they're mostly all just painted and sanded, except for your top piece, which is pretty awesome. Not a lot to do. All right. We are good. So then I'm just going to put this in the water. It always scares me because I always need it afterwards. But now I'm going to get a smaller ratty brush so that I could highlight his nose. And I like to just put a little highlight on his nose. I like to drop some fresh paint right on top and blend it out. And then you'll see that it kind of sucks it up a little bit. So we're just going to rub it in again. I'm really going over my lines here. And then let's grab some more. Just like that. Okay. I see that my paint here, on my beard is kind of funky. Let me grab some more paint and burnt umber. There we go. Smooth it out a little bit more just because it looked a little splotchy. Okay. We are good. Okay. What I want to do with this guy first is I want to get my forward stencil, and I'm going to put, no, not this one, the big one. And I'm going to put the big one on here. And I want to do red, white, boom. But the problem is you probably won't see too much of the red, white, boom. So what I want to do is put the top and the bottom of each, because I want this to be, and then the top and the bottom of this, because I'll show you what I'm going to do, see if it works out. Okay. So I'm just going to grab some, I'll do white paint on this. Oh, I already have white paint on here. I'm going to get kind of a dry brush. I'm not going to use too much paint. I mean, water. I'm not going to use any water. And what I want to do is just put a background paint on here. Okay, I'm going to use a little water. Didn't go very far. And kind of follow those lines so you know where the letters are going to go. Because I want to do red and blue on here. Just like that. And then we'll do the bottom. We're going to stencil that. And this is what I mean, that there's just so much you can do with the different stencils, because you can make something look different even though it's the same stencil. And try to not make so many streaks, so just like that. Might go over that a little bit since the red came up, but let's just wait a little bit. Let that dry. Let me blow it a little bit with a blow dryer. Yes, Jen, I will in May. If you're following me on my page, I will post when my next live will be, and it's all of this stuff will be finished. So for those of you who are not creative and don't want to do it, or it might be creative, you just don't want to do it, I do have that sale that I will have in May. So hopefully mid-May. That's what I'm hoping for. Look how cute this guy would look off to the side as well. Maybe I should make another one where he's off to the side. Then you could put something here. Okay. Squirrel. I told you guys. But that just means another design. You know what I mean? It's like, ugh, where does it end? All right, we're just going to go over this one more time. And I like the way that paint looks kind of not perfect, just kind of scattered on there. There we go. All right, we're going to let that dry. And let's go ahead and do this one first. And look how cute this looks like this, you guys. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, you guys can just make all kinds. If this one, ooh, like this. If you didn't put the stars and stripes there, how cute is that? Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's Stay focused, Yvonne. Stay focused. All right, where am I? I'm going to put 1776 on here in white. And I'm just going to grab one of these blender brushes and really get the paint off of it. And this will need a couple of coats. You could tape the stencil down if you want. I'm always too lazy and I don't do that. So as you can see on my sample, I use Stars and Stripes on the right-hand side because it's Stars and Stripes. You could also cut 2 pieces of wood, you guys, and it could be 2 separate ones and do Stars and Stripes still. So think about just different things that you can do if these don't work for exactly what you want them for. Oh, I'm using white. I forgot. On this, I should have used plaster. Gosh darn it. I just realized because I did. Okay. And when you use the blow dryer on the stencil, kind of be away from it. It does curl up and it'll ruin your stencil. So just be careful to not do that. And just so you could see, oh, I just moved it. So there we go. It needs one more light coat, or maybe 2. You know what? I'm going to do it with the plaster now, you guys, because it should have been in plaster. So now that I did a coat of that. And since I already stained this piece of wood, you don't have to worry about putting color on the edges. It's already, since I sanded it, I stained it and sanded it, and it already kind of gives it the dimension that you want. Oops, a lot of paint there. If you put too much paint, you'll see that it'll bleed underneath. So that's why you need to be careful to really tap your brush out. But what's nice about this being under the blue, on top of the blue, is that the blue is forgiving and it'll cover it up really, really well if you need to touch it up a little bit. All right, let's see this. Looking good. Very nice. I think I still want to give it one more coat. Let me take this off. I hope I can match it up. If not, that's going to be fun. Thanks, Jen. You're new too. I haven't seen you on here, or unless I forgot the name, but I haven't been on here in a while anyway. So who am I to say who I've seen or not seen? What color did you use to highlight? I used white, Caroline. Sorry, I didn't see that till now. Thank you, Johnny Beckstrom. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. Okay, let's try to match this up as best we could to do one more coat. This is really bothering me a little bit because it keeps lifting up. That's what happens if the paint's not completely dry and you try to go over it. It will. So I'm just going to pounce and rub. All right, let's just pounce one more time on this number 6. Well, let's do it on all of it. White is hard because it's so light, transparenty. There we go. Super cute. And if you want to, I'm gonna wait till it dries and I'm gonna sand it a little bit on top just to give it more of a primitive type look. So we're done with that. Now what I want to do, there was something that needed white. Oh, right here. This I'm doing white. I'm not doing plaster. So I'm just going to use that same brush, but I'm going to dip it in white again, and it should be fine. So for this one, I am going to just do the white. Now I'll try to show you the numbers from the sale, even on Friday or Saturday when I come on, just to make it easy. I won't be able to get through all of it, I don't think, but I'll get through a lot of it. Because once you've done this Uncle Sam, you could do, actually, I probably won't do the sitting Uncle Sam because he's exactly like this one. So. All right, let's wait for this to dry a little bit. Give it another coat. Aw, I love that. I'm glad I came up on your page too. That's how I find a lot of people on Facebook, you guys. My algorithm is all crafts. And actually what I've really been into lately is people who go to estate sales and yard sales. It's kind of fascinating, the stuff that they buy and sell on eBay. Stuff that you wouldn't think. You know what I've noticed? They will buy, this one gal that I follow buys things that are like signed, which makes me think I should start. I mean, I should always sign my stuff, but it's kind of a lot to sign all the time, but I should just get a Sharpie and at least sign it. But anyway, she likes buying stuff that people handcrafted and made, and especially if they signed it. Like she bought something and I'm like, oh, that is not cute. Okay, so then what I want to do is let it dry one more time. And then I'm just going to try not to pounce and just try to go over it. All right. So now I'm just going to try to get on the edge, crisp up the lines on the edges, because when you pounce, it doesn't really crisp up the lines. But I really wanted the white to come on there. So there you go. And I could get some red and just kind of clean up a little bit on the edges there. Perfect, perfect. All right. So now I'm going to do red, and I need a different color. I need a different, I have paint all over my hands. I'm going to do crimson. Do I want crimson? And a little bit I'm going to add a little bit of antique maroon to my crimson. Because I want the red to pop. Actually, no, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's lay this down here. And then we're just going to pounce, pounce, pounce. And then we'll shade at the bottom. We'll start shading a little bit with the crimson. I mean, antique maroon. Too much paint. Should have dabbed some off. Okay, let's let this dry. All right, are you guys following along? Kevin, I think Amy's here. Can you move my car? Please? I'm sorry. My daughter just got home from work and we have to have our cars in a certain way depending on when we leave in the morning. Uh-oh, I lifted up the paint a little bit. Let's poke at it some more here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up some of this antique maroon. And I'm just going to lightly start at the bottom and kind of work my way up. Let's see what this looks like. Let's see what this looks like. Ooh, I like it, but I think I should just do it all. Let's do it all, I think. All right, let's see what this looks like. Good. It looks red and darker. I like. Okay. Then we're just going to do blue. I don't need, okay. Just trying to see where I need my blue because I do need them. Oh, let's move this. I'm going to make this messy. Okay, let me clean this up a little bit since we have a little bit of time here. There we go. And then I'm going to pick up some red. All right, there we go. Clean. Oh, let's do the outside of the W. There we go. So what's nice about stencils, you can There's always a way to fix it. Okay, now let's lay down this. Let's dry this really quick. I don't want to ruin it. So like I said, you could just do all one color. You could have just done all white if you wanted to. I wanted to be fancy. I wanted to show you guys a different way to do this. Which is why I'm doing it. Hi, Lori. Haven't seen you in forever. Not seen you. Talked to you in forever. All right. And then we're going to tap in blue. Ta-da! Red, white, boom. Love it. Okay, so now that I have the blue on my brush, I'm going to get these scattered stars. Not this one, the scattered ones. And just kind of position them. Try to find 3 little stars. I'd like to do things in even numbers. And just add stars to his hat. I could put 2 more little ones down here. There we go. 5 little stars. And then on this one, all right. And then let's find 2 more. Let's do these little ones. So like you see, I did 5. Super cute. Okay. So we're done with that, and we're done with the blue. We could put this in the water. All right. So then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get black, and we're going to get 1776, which is right here. So the tricky part to this, let's take this off the dowel, is getting it as straight as you can. So you can kind of see, and if I had cleaned my stencil, I probably would have been able to see it better. So let's start here and then just kind of work our way down. Oh, let's go here this way. Okay, and then just work our way down like that. It moved on me a little bit. I think we'll be okay. All right, then let me just get this black and get some black on my palette. And this is really nice because it's really thin font, so you don't really have to pounce a whole bunch. There we go. Yay. Okay, so that one's done. Let's put the eyes on these guys. And what I want to do is cover the nose because I am infamous for Might have been too much paint. Ta-da! And then let's grab this guy and cover up the nose. There we go. All done with this stencil. Okay, then the next thing we're going to do is the big stencil, which is this one. So you can see where I already had, I'm going to stick this on because I don't want it to move on me. All right, you can see that I'm just doing this little part here. This in the middle is nothing. So we're just going to start. Ooh, I had a lot of paint on there. And what's nice about this, I'm just going to do it once and then I'm going to, or maybe once or twice, and I'm just going to sand it a little bit. Oh, Lori, you're funny. You had a wedding. How fun is that? I got here later. There was going to be SVG. So, okay. Laura, some of these, I didn't announce it on my Saturday sale, but I do have some of these in the SVG file. I will post that on the pictures that I put on after my live. So, I'll let you guys know what that is. It was kind of an afterthought. I didn't realize till afterwards. Shoot, I did have the SVGs on some, like I will have them for this one. Oh, you don't see this, the and or the ampersand. I have a knot right here, so that might be kind of funky when it comes out, but should be okay. Amy. Amy. Yeah, yeah. No, I was going to tell you. I didn't know if you were making something. All right. How much of this do you see? You see proud, or you see the bottom of it. So yeah, I'll try to post it. This one for sure is one. The guy sitting down is an SVG. I have a lot of line drawings that are available. And this one you could just see a little bit of the home. So I'm just going to do the HOME. You don't even see the E. You do see USA. You don't see that star. You'll see R, not even the E. I think that's it. I think we're good. So once you're done and you're happy with what you see, I'm just going to lift it up and you are done. So excited. You know what I did notice, you guys? This star's over too much. I'm going to try to make it here. I'm going to have it come over a little bit. It needed something right there. So I just moved it over. There we go. Because then this guy's going right on top. And that's all you get to see. So you don't have to do the whole thing. All right. Now what we're going to do is finish up our little guys. So let's get some plaster. Did you turn on the pot again, Aim? Oh. No, 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 no. All right. So I'm just going to grab some plaster paint here and then make some eyebrows and just kind of move them and dab them. There's bushy eyebrows. It's hard with this plaster paint because it's so thick. Just like that. And just like that. Okay. Then we're going to get some deep burgundy. Oh, I don't have deep burgundy out. And get a scruffy brush. And just get some cheeks on him. Put a little red underneath his nose, on his nose. Same here. All right. Okay, now what we're going to do is get some black paint. All right. Do you have a laser machine, Laura? I'm sure you do if you're asking about it. Okay, so then we're just going to plop a little mouth with the liner brush and then plop a little mouth with the liner brush. This one could be a little longer. Okay. All right, I think we're done. So then all I'm going to do is grab some wood glue and I'm going to put this little pop-up piece on it. I like to pop my stuff up just to give it a little bit more dimension because oh my gosh, this is all, it's gonna not come out. Because it's so flat, I like to have it have a little bit more dimension than what it usually has. Yeah, Stacy, that one I do have an SVG for that one. I'll post that on there. It's the guy sitting down. It's this guy peeking through the US and now this new guy that I think is going to be really cute too. Okay, this is not working. Let's get this stick fast. I like using wood glue whenever I can. I don't know why. I just think it adheres really well. And now this one's stuck, or this one's just really thick. All right, let's do that. And then let's just lay that on there. And then we'll set the US right on top. And then all my prices on here. I didn't want to forget. But like I said, you can go back on the live and you can see all of the numbers and the prices. You can still order. Shipping is probably in 2 weeks. It might be sooner. I think it'll might be sooner. So I think we'll be okay for it to be a little sooner. Oh shoot, I didn't have to go up here. Let me try to wipe that off really quick. All right, and then we're going to add some pop-ups here. This paint is so thick and dry now. And I'm going to add these little pop-ups for the hands. He's got the small hands. He's the peeking little guy. And that one's done. And this one, I'm just going to lay down. I'm not going to pop this guy up because his hands are going to be popped up. I'll get this one on there too since this is a new one. This is not working. I should have put my glue gun on and done some. Let's see if this will work. All right, and then he's got pop-ups as well. What do you think? Think it's something you guys can do? I'll show you everything right now when I finish. I really need to make sure shoot, now I got it all over make sure my glue's working. So I'm going to make these hands go a little over just because I can, since it's, he's going to be on a stand, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to do that. And there we go. What did I do with my glue? All right, let's see where everybody is here. Thank you, Laura. Dusty, you're late. Did you not set your alarm like Judy? It was last minute. Sorry, guys. I don't know if this is gonna stick. I need more glue. I'm gonna do that after I come out, after I'm off with you guys. But here is the finished items that we did. So see how different this flag is to this one. This one's a little shorter because I wanted it to be this 1x4 on here. Let's go ahead and sand this a little bit, just to make it look a little bit more weathered. And I was going to sand something. Oh, I was going to sand this one and I didn't. Gosh darn it. Oh, well, it looks fine. The reason you sand as well is you can get rid of like the little imperfections there. So, I mean, if you really wanted to, you can lift that up a little bit. But other than that, I think I'm just going to put some dots on his cheeks with some fresh white paint. I'm going to dip dot on my palette, dot, dot, dip dot on my palette, dot, dot. And there you go. He is all done. They're both all done. Thank you for joining me on such short notice tonight. But I just wanted to show you my process for those of you buying the kits and the stencils, what you can do with them. So like I said, this is the new one that I showed you guys that I didn't really show you anything done with. It's a bigger version of this one. I know it's silly, but it's always nice to have different sizes depending on what you're doing. So now you can make like all of these little signs. And if you have a little Uncle Sam to go next to it, you can do that. So that's why I have these. And then this big one is nice. I had this in three different sizes. This one has a few more words on it than the others, but it's a good one to have because like I said, you can, how I took out not this one, but on all of them, you can just take words and put them where you want them. So it makes it kind of fun and different and just a variety of stuff that you guys could do with it. So hope you guys enjoy this guy, and I hope to see you Friday or Saturday. I will post as to when I'm going to come on. But thank you for joining me tonight on a Tuesday night. So it was very rare for me, so it was nice to see everybody or talk to everybody, and even some newbies that I see on there, which is awesome. Go back and watch my live of everything I have available, and just send me, you could DM me everything that you're wanting to order, or you could always put it on as a comment on my live. So you could do whatever you want. But if you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to me as well. So have a good evening, guys. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.